and we're here. So if you guys aren't a fight fan, please, and if you're interested in being a fight fan, Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez. Oh, them boys went to war. They went to. I couldn't even. Some fights you can dip off in between. Rounds. To go. Refill your drink. To go get a bag of chips. To do something. This fight had you locked into the TV, and I didn't get to see it live. I was out with my lady. We was out chilling, having a little day together. But I got ESPN Plus, so you can rewatch the fights whenever you want, as soon as they air. So I was trying my best to stay away from social media because I knew it was crazy. I used Bovado to place my little bets on sporting events and everything like that. Man, it was a war. It was a war. When you thought Holloway's leg wasn't gonna be able to make it through any of the rounds past the second round, he's up walking like nothing is happening. It was a great fight. So if you didn't see it, YouTube is there for you. Get ESPN Plus so you can watch it and hear the real commentary behind it and see all the fixings. But other than that, had a great weekend. Hope y'all did too. And I was seeing a lot of things. This is video, and it has this man, he's working at Subway, has his baby in a pouch on his chest while he's making a sandwich. And a lot of people were trying to have, they were feeling sorry for him. And I didn't feel sorry for him. For one, he's doing what it takes to make sure he can keep going and provide for his family. And then for two, I don't understand why we constantly want to feel bad for people who make their own decisions. If it was me, man, if I had a low paying job, I'm not purposely, I'm really not having unprotected sex if I'm an adult. I know what the consequences are. This wasn't a young man in the terms of, he's 19 or anything like that. It's a grown ass man, he grown. And if you're grown, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, this is just real observations that I'm really thinking about. And maybe we can get some understanding as to why, the poverty levels are sometimes unbreakable. You can't break through that boundary, man, because you keep adding more tasks onto your plate that keeps you from breaking through that boundary. A lot of people that are poor, not having a fun time, not having a fun go at this life. I was one of them, and I'm not even close to being financially stable or having financial freedom or anything like that. But I live comfortable in my standards. I would never have a kid working at Subway. I would never have a kid working at McDonald's. Men, y'all got to really step up and start making better decisions. Can't be putting everything on women, even though, yes, it is a two-person decision, but I'm going to keep it real with y'all. It's a lot of stealthing going on. A lot of these dudes, man, they start off with the protection, and by the end of the session, the protection is gone, and they're not being held accountable for it. They're not being questioned about it or anything like that. So, man, stop. If you don't have what it takes to take care of yourself, why you want to get somebody pregnant? Because it sounds good during the moment? Come on, man, get out of here. You can't be real right now. That you telling me you really want to be strapped down to a child. And I'm not anti-child by any means. And I don't have any, I'm really living what I'm talking about when I say, I'm not ready for a child. I love the comfortability of the life I live. I love the freedom and the position I've been able to put myself in without having a whole nother human being to care for. And I really think if I had children, I don't think my life would be as fun. We live in a society where Yeah, people say, oh, it's a blessing, it's this, it is that. We got a lot of people on the planet, and it would be a blessing if we lived back in, ancient times or something like that, where you're trying to build a clan, you're trying to build a village, so you need more people. But we don't live like that anymore, And I think I'm adjusting well to the times that we live in, where having a child isn't necessarily my duty anymore. In my opinion, the world's not gonna magically get better because of a child that was birthed by me and his mom, just another person in the world. Yeah, there's endless potential in children. Presidents, doctors, motivational speakers, somebody who does the unknown. And, it's okay to wait to have kids until you're ready. I wish we would stop putting this time limit on us, acting like we're running out of time to have kids. Man, we got plenty of time to have kids, y'all. We really do. But just back to that video, people want to feel sorry for somebody who made their own decision. And it's like, when are individuals actually going to be forced to take responsibility for their decisions and stop being a focal point of pity? You know what I mean? Why is everybody feeling so sorry for everybody? Yes, life is hard out here. We know life is hard. We make it hard. We the only animal on the planet that pays to live on the planet, right? So with that, you should know. Come on, man. And especially nowadays, we have so much reach with social media. We have so much reach with YouTube. We have so much reach with the internet. You can see what life is like for any type of life you live in. I'm sure that, let's see real quick if you can just scroll on YouTube and put life with 3 kids. And boom, number 1 video, truth about having 3 kids, coping with 3 kids, morning routine with 3 kids, transitioning from 2 to 3 kids. Should you have a 3rd child? That's just one. It took me 2 seconds to type that into YouTube. Right? I mean, it's crazy. The amount of resource we have and we fail to use, and I was reading the comments and people was, going to blame Subway and the livable wage and all these things. And it's like, I get it. But, at what point do people get held accountable for their mediocre effort? Effort is everything, man. And if you don't have effort, if you don't have that energy to put forth effort into doing something for yourself, how is it someone else's fault? Like Subway, McDonald's, Burger King, all these fast food service positions and jobs, the task, they're basically built around entry level jobs, man. And McDonald's used to have this thing. It was like your the favorite first job, your number one, your first job. That's what they would promote when they were looking to hire people, hire young people so they can get an understanding of managing their money, get an understanding of working for a wage, understanding how, the industry kind of works. And with that, you can take advantage of college opportunities that they may have with educational scholarship help and things like that. These jobs are not for 30, 40 years old trying to provide for a family. And you could say, oh, like capitalism this, capitalism that. That's kind of how the game works. Everything has to have a system for it to like play. If you want to play video games, you need an Xbox console to play Xbox games. Xbox, you can look at that as capitalism. The PlayStation, you need a PlayStation console to play PlayStation games, and you can look at that as socialism. You need a Nintendo Switch console to play Nintendo Switch games, and you could look at that as communism. It's just different systems for different things you're trying to do. And when it comes to capitalism, the name of the game is to continue to grow and this and that. And it's like the motto, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's kind of, it falls into that place. Like, yes, in the beginning, every business starts small, right? So you got a small business where you pay your employees the minimum regulated wage. Your business grows, but why does the wage have to change? And I know this sounds crazy, but just hear me out. Why does the wage have to change? It wasn't broke when you were a small business. No one talked about that. But now you're growing in popularity. You're still providing jobs, just at the minimum wage. It would be different if, engineers were getting paid minimum wage. Why, you may ask? Well, let me tell you this. So when you go to get a haircut at the barbershop, it's simple, man. You go get a haircut at the barbershop, and each barber charges a different price, right? So the guy who just graduated barber school, he's new. So he may charge you $17-20 for a cut. Now, the guy in the middle chair, let's say he's been a barber for 15 years, and his prices are $30 to $40 a cut. Some people who not seeing it how I'm seeing it are gonna say, who does he think he is? Why is he overcharging, right? No, you're paying for the years of experience. You're paying for the quality of someone who has invested in themselves to give you a higher quality product, higher quality service that you're desiring at the moment. That $17-20 haircut, it may not get you the quality and the sharpness of the edges that the $30 or $40 barber is going to provide for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's you got to think of it like that. These are entry level jobs that require no college education. They require no outside training certificates that are prerequisite requirements. So it's somebody who's wanting to be a cashier at McDonald's. They don't have to come there to the interview with a current CPA license. They don't have to do any of that. They don't have to be an accountant. They don't have to be a finance major. They don't have to be any of that shit. They literally just pop up, you get on the job training, and that's what it is, right? That's an entry level job. A livable wage is crazy to think that that's going to happen when you really aren't bringing nothing to the table but a body to do a task. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Companies, they would much rather pay a one-time fee with some cleaning robot than have to continuously pay a livable person that calls out, that has excuses, that does all these things, which probably leads them into the place of being 40 years old, trying to find a livable wage at McDonald's or Subway or something like that. And I'm not coming for nobody, so don't get it twisted. I'm not coming for anybody. I'm just saying, at what point are we going to hold individuals accountable? The Travis Scott tragedy. People are up in arms canceling Travis Scott, but is it really his fault? Or did you see a bunch of people jumping over barricades, picking fences and barricades up, knocking fences completely down? There was measures in place. It's just individuals failed to follow them. They wanted to do hard drugs and act an ass and hurt other people, and because someone is the face of something, that's where all the blame is going to go, to the face, right? It's crazy to me, Oh man, it's just the amount of reach y'all think this person had. It's just they really don't. And you got to look at it from a real life perspective. You know, there's an owner at Subway. But for whatever reason, since Subway's name is bigger than the owner's name, if an employee takes the food and puts it around the toilet and poses with it. This happened. This is a true story now. This guy claimed he did it for clout. He's an aspiring rapper trying to get signed by Meek Mill. He does that. It doesn't say James Barnett's Subway employee. You're like, who the fuck is James Barnett? Well, he's the owner of that Subway. Not really. I don't know who the owner. I just made that name up. But I'm saying they don't say that. They just, the most recognizable name, Subway. Subway employee. No. Subway's not responsible for that employee's actions because you can't be responsible for a single person's actions at all times, man. You can't. With sporadic events, now, you can have a place and role in, you could be responsible if it's some type of behavior that's promoted, some type of behavior that's goes not checked. If he was doing it weeks and days over and over before the picture got out, but he wasn't. So to think Travis was responsible for that, and people saying, "Oh, well, his music incites." Oh, come on! I'm so tired of hearing that adults can't pick between music and a vibe and just figuratively speaking, and then they can't decide between what's real life. You know what I'm saying? When you heard 3 6 Mafia say tear the club up, there wasn't an adult taking the bartender and pushing them and getting behind the bar and tearing the club up. They understood the difference. But now, because Travis is like, let's rage, they're like, oh yeah, he's responsible for everything. He's inciting this. Yo, people got to be held responsible, man. There was kids out there on fucking hardcore drugs, and if you smoke too much weed, especially at these places where you're going to consume more and you're going to be around more weed than you normally are. You consume too much weed, your heart rate goes to such a slow beat that your body will sometimes faint to recharge real quick. Okay. So these people are fainting. For one, where's the good citizens at? Ain't nobody helping nobody, right? It's just letting it happen, minding their own business, when their business should be to help somebody. They taking out phones and stuff and doing things like that. So when are those people going to be held accountable, man? He shouldn't be canceled. Nothing should happen besides hiring more security and, hey, cutting the tickets off. Everybody can't come. Y'all don't know how to act accordingly. Y'all just don't know how to act. Y'all act just like y'all took what y'all do on social media and y'all brought it to real life. And I'm not trying to be mean. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying some shit. We just talking. That's what this whole thing is about, is us talking, right? But yeah, I just trying to understand, like, when are we gonna be holding people accountable? You know what I mean? Why, if you work and you're not getting a livable wage, would you in your right mind not have condoms on you? Why? Why would you not have condoms on you? You can't put everything on just one party, but guys should be having condoms. And birth control is free too at the clinic. You can get some birth control just to give you an extra line of protection if that condom were to break. But if you're not making a livable wage to take care of yourself, you just gonna put it all up on welfare, ain't you? Because that's just the get out of jail free card, it seemed like. Come on, man. That's why the youth so lost, and people grow up in crazy households, because it's a lot of babies that just aren't planned for. And when you have something that's not planned for, that's such a huge consumer of time, consumer of energy, consumer of just life itself in a child, man, you're not going to really be able to reach your full potential and happiness. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. It's a lot of people that do have kids young, and, that's life. It does happen. But we got to do a better job of, preventing that, and when behaviors change, you know what else changes? Society. Society is what changes when they see behaviors of the people in the society change, right? Back in the day, certain things were okay in society until people started changing, and then society evolved. That's what pushes that societal evolution, is the way we act. If they start seeing that, oh man, wow, it's now becoming more natural, and now it's really a trend for people to be in their late 20s, early 30s before they're having their first kid. All right, boom, marketing is going to change now. Little things are going to start to change that's going to start matching how you're behaving in society. But I just feel like people don't see it. People don't believe it. People don't understand, where I'm coming from. So let's talk, man. Hit us up on Twitter at The Air Podcast with an X, not a C. It's all one word. All right. Comment down in the YouTube description box and let us know how you feel on these takes. But please, let's start holding each other accountable. Let's start doing some self-accountability. And you'll look at the world different when you hold yourself accountable. Give yourself some positive task. You can't spend your whole life giving mediocre effort and expecting the world. You're just not. If you have this dream of being successful and you are failing to get success, look at how you're approaching it. Are you giving your effort? Are you putting it on the line where you can say, I've done everything I could, it ain't for me? I don't think so, yo. I don't think so. Because I look in the world every day. I see it every day. People I work with, they talk about they're out of shape, they're this, they're that, they can't control this, and I'm just listening to them. And then I ask them what they did over the weekend, and not one thing they did over the weekend attacked any of those shortcomings that they see in themselves. So they're not even working towards bettering themselves, And another thing, like when you're trying to better yourself, it's not going to be all perfect. You got to go one day at a time, In the morning, you wake up early enough, take you a nice walk, nice jog, and plan out your day so you can see how your day should flow. And then once you do that, live your day like you talked about in that morning. And some of the things you're going to fall short on, some of the things you're going to execute perfectly. And then you take it another day and then another day. And you start seeing the world different because now you're making some ground personally. It may not be materialized success, but it's going to be eternal success that you're doing something for you. So with that, I'm your host, Nate Grimes, listening to the Air Podcast, and talk to you soon.